Welcome to this deep dive. We've got quite a bit of material here, all focused on the recent Google I/O 2025 announcements. We're looking at articles, some notes, and that big YouTube transcript from the keynote.
That's right. And what we want to do today is really walk you through it all. Pull out the key highlights, the stuff that really matters, and get a feel for where Google's heading with AI and tech integration.
Yeah, think of this as the quick guide to what actually happened at I/O.
Exactly. There was a ton of information, as always.
So much. So where should we, even start? Foundational stuff.
I think we have to. Let's begin with the AI model themselves, and importantly, the hardware that's actually powering all this. The sources really emphasize some, pretty significant progress.
They use that phrase step function change. That sounds like a big claim. What are they pointing to?
Well, one thing is the ELO scores, like in chess, but they use it to rate the models. And the numbers are pretty impressive, up over 300 points since the first Gemini Pro came out.
Wow, 300 points. Okay, that's not just tweaking things. That feels like a genuine leap forward in capability.
It really suggests that. And Gemini 2.5 Pro, that seems to be the star right now. The source mentioned it swept the LM Arena leaderboard. All categories?
All of them.
Yep. And specifically on the web dev arena that tests things like coding and web stuff, it beat the last version by 142 ELO points, took the #1 spot. That shows a major improvement in those, practical get things done skills.
Okay, so the models are getting smarter, but you need the muscle behind them, right? What about the hardware?
Right. They introduced their new 7th generation TPU. That's their custom chip for AI. It's called Ironwood.
Ironwood, okay.
And the claim is a 10x performance boost over the last gen.
10 times? Seriously? What does that mean in terms of raw compute power?
Get this, each part delivers 42.5 exaflops. An exaflop is, it's a massive number. A billion operations per second.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around.
It is. But that's the kind of power driving these huge AI models and letting them improve so fast. So Ironwood is really the engine here, and it's coming to Google Cloud later this year for businesses and developers.
Okay, powerful models, powerful hardware. But where are people actually using this AI today at scale?
Good question. Because that's the other side of it. Google's not just doing research. They're embedding this AI into products that, millions, even billions of people use every day.
You mean like the Gemini app?
Exactly. The Gemini app itself, they said, now has over 400 million monthly active users. That's pretty significant growth. Shows people are actually adopting this direct AI interface, especially with the newer 2.5 models powering it.
But the really big numbers come from integrating it into search, I imagine.
Absolutely. AI overviews in search, those summaries you see at the top. Over 1.5 billion monthly users are seeing those now.
1.5 billion.
Yeah. And the source pointed out that this means Google Search is likely bringing generative AI to more people than, any other single product out there. They're leveraging their massive user base.
That scale is just incredible. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about the really new, maybe slightly futuristic stuff? Google Beam sounded pretty interesting.
Yeah, Google Beam. It's a new platform for video calls, but built around AI from the ground up. The idea is to go beyond just a flat 2D video and make it feel much more like you're actually there with the person. It's like a 3D experience.
How are they doing that, making it 3D?
It uses an array of 6 cameras placed around you, captures you from different angles. Then AI takes all that video, merges it, and renders a 3D representation of you on a special light field display on the other end.
So it's kind of like a hologram call.
Sort of, yeah. But the goal is super high fidelity, super realistic. They highlighted the tech achievement, tracking your head movements almost perfectly, like down to the millimeter, and doing it at 60 frames per second in real time. It's all aimed at making conversation feel more natural, more immersive, less like staring at a screen.
Is this actually coming out, or is it just a concept?
No, it's coming. They're partnering with HP on the actual devices, and the first Google Beam systems will be available for early customers later this year. It's definitely pushing the envelope on remote communication.
Taking research and getting it into products seems like a pattern here, like the real-time translation in Google Meet. That uses some of their Starline tech, doesn't it?
It does, and this one is super practical. The example they gave was, you need to book a vacation rental somewhere, say South America, but you don't speak Spanish.
Right. That's usually a huge barrier.
Well, Google Meet, using this tech, can translate the whole conversation back and forth in real time. It just smooths everything out.
That could genuinely change how people connect across languages.
Totally. And it's not just a demo. It's live now for English and Spanish subscribers in Meet. They said more languages are rolling out in the next few weeks, too.
Okay, another research project making its way out was Project Astra. What's the story there?
Project Astra is their exploration into what a truly universal AI assistant could be. One that doesn't just hear you, but sees the world around you, understands context, remembers things. It's a big vision.
And we're seeing bits of that now.
Yeah, pieces of it are showing up in products. Specifically, Gemini Live is getting some Astra capabilities.
Like what exactly?
It's adding camera and screen sharing features pulled from Astra. So you can literally point your phone's camera at something in the room or something on your computer screen and talk to Gemini about it. Ask questions, get help based on what it's seeing live.
Oh, interesting. So I could show it like the instructions for something I'm assembling or a chart I'm trying to understand.
Precisely. The examples they used were things like practicing for a job interview by showing it your resume, or getting tips on your form while training for a marathon by showing it your equipment. Makes the interaction much more dynamic, much more grounded in the real world.
How soon can people use this?
It's actually rolling out to everyone on Android and iOS starting today.
Oh, right now.
Yep. And they also mentioned that soon Gemini Live will connect more deeply with your other Google stuff. Calendar, Maps, Keep, Tasks.
So you could, what, point it at a whiteboard and have it create a calendar event?
Yeah, or show it a messy handwritten shopping list and have it create a neat list in Google Keep.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just showing it to your phone.
Okay, that leads nicely into AI that doesn't just understand or talk, but actually does things. The agentic capabilities. Project Mariner fits here.
So Project Mariner is their research agent focused on interacting with websites and completing tasks for you. They've made some real progress there.
Like doing multiple things at once.
Yes, exactly. It has a new multitasking feature. It can apparently oversee up to 10 different web tasks happening simultaneously.
10 tasks. Okay.
And they also introduced something called Teach and Repeat. The idea is you show Mariner how to do a task once, like navigating a specific website or filling out a certain form. It learns the steps, creates a plan, and then it can do similar tasks automatically for you later.
That sounds incredibly useful for automating repetitive online chores. Is this just internal, or can others use it?
It's becoming available. Developers can access these capabilities through the Gemini API. They mentioned some early testers like Automation Anywhere and UiPath are already using it. It'll be more broadly available for developers this summer.
But it's not just for developers, right? They talked about bringing this agent stuff directly to users. Agent mode.
Yes, agent mode in the Gemini app. This is where it gets really interesting for everyday complex tasks. They give a really good example. Finding an apartment.
Ugh, finding an apartment, always a pain.
Exactly. So say you need an apartment in Austin for you and some roommates with a certain budget, location, needs a washer, dryer, all those details.
Which normally means hours on different websites, filtering, comparing.
Right. But with agent mode, you tell Gemini the overall goal, and then behind the scenes, it takes over. It finds listings from different sites, uses Project Mariner tech to apply all your filters, and can even use other tools, like something called MCP, to securely interact with surfaces to, say, check availability or maybe even schedule viewing appointments for you.
Whoa, so it's not just finding links, it's actually taking actions on the web.
That's the idea, automating that whole complex workflow. They said an experimental version of agent mode is coming soon for subscribers.
That feels like a significant step up. Taking that further, they talked about personalization, using your data to make the AI more helpful, and this seems key with permission and privacy controls.
Yeah, the personal context idea. If you give it explicit permission, Gemini can privately look at relevant info in your Google apps like Gmail, Drive, Docs to give you better answers. But you're in control. You decide what it can see.
They had that smart reply example in Gmail, which sounded quite useful.
Personalized smart replies, yeah. So instead of just getting generic okay or sounds good, Gemini can look at the email they used, an example about planning a road trip to Utah.
Right.
It can then, with your permission, check your related notes in Drive, maybe find hotel booking emails, look at an itinerary in Docs.
And it puts together a reply based on all that.
Yes, but here's the cool part. It doesn't just pull the facts. It also tries to match your way of writing. Your typical greeting, your tone, even words you use often. Like if you always say exciting, it might use that word in the draft reply.
Huh. So it actually sounds like me sending the email and has the right info. That's pretty smart.
It could save a lot of time. That's coming to Gmail this summer for subscribers.
Okay, let's touch on updates for the developers and creators out there. The Gemini Flash model got an update.
Yeah, Flash 2.5. They call it their efficient workhorse model. Developers like it because it's fast and cheaper to run.
And it's improved.
Significantly. Better reasoning, better coding skills, handles longer context. Apparently, it's now number 2 on that LM Marino leaderboard, right behind the big 2.5 Pro model. So, big gains for the efficient option.
When can developers start using the new Flash?
It'll be generally available in early June. The updated Pro's coming soon after that. They also showed off some pretty advanced new text-to-speech stuff.
Oh, yeah, the multi-speaker thing.
Exactly. New previews that can handle 2 different voices in the same audio output. And apparently, it's really good at capturing nuances, like switching to a whisper mid-sentence.
That's tricky to get right.
Very. And it works in over 24 languages, and can even switch languages while keeping the same voice profile. That's available today for devs in the Gemini API.
It really feels like they're fundamentally rethinking search with all this AI. Not just adding features, but changing the core experience.
That's definitely the message with the all-new AI mode in search. It's built for more complex reasoning. It can handle much longer, more nuanced questions than you typically type into Google. People are apparently asking questions 2 or 3 times longer now.
And the results page looks different, too.
Totally dynamic. The AI adapts the whole user interface based on your query. It blends text summaries, images, links, maybe even maps, all organized to directly answer your complex question. It's not just a list of blue links anymore.
And they're bringing the live interaction from Astra into this. Search Live.
Right. Search Live integrates that camera and screen sharing from Project Astra right into AI mode in Search.
So you can, search what you're looking at.
Exactly. Stuck on a DIY project, point your camera at it, trying to understand homework, show it the problem. It's like having a video call with Search to get help based on real-time visual context.
That could be incredibly helpful. AI seems to be making shopping and search smarter, too.
Yeah, 2 main things there. First, virtual try-on. It uses a special AI image generation model trained on fashion. You upload a photo of yourself, and you can see how different clothes actually look on your body shape.
Okay, that could solve a big online shopping problem.
Could definitely reduce returns. That's in Search Labs now. The other thing is agentic checkout.
Agentic checkout sounds like the apartment finder.
Similar idea. It can track prices for items you want, let you know when they drop. Then, if you decide to buy, the checkout agent can, with your, automatically add the right size and color to the cart and use Google Pay to finish the purchase. One tap, basically.
Taking the tedious bits out of checkout.
That's the goal. Those visual shopping features in the agentic checkout are rolling out over the coming months.
Shifting to the creative side, there were some powerful new models for making images, video, and audio.
Yeah, the big one for visuals is V3. Available today. State of the art, they say. Better image quality, better understanding of physics in the scenes. But the really new thing with V3 is native audio generation.
Native audio, meaning?
Yeah. It doesn't just make the pictures or video. It generates the sound to go with it. Sound effects, background noise, even dialogue for characters in the scene.
So you type a prompt and get video with sound.
Exactly. They showed examples like generating images of like a wise owl and a nervous badger, complete with forest sounds and spoken dialogue, or creating incredibly realistic ocean waves with the sound perfectly matched. It's a big step for creative tools.
And this powers things like Imagine 4.
Right. Imagine 4 uses V3 to create those images and videos with the integrated sound. And for music, they highlighted Lyria 2.
What's special about Lyria 2?
High-fidelity music and audio generation. And significantly, it can generate vocals and choirs, making really expressive music. That's available now for enterprises, YouTube creators, and musicians.
With all this AI creating content, the responsibility angle is huge. They talked about Synth ID again.
They did. Synth ID is their watermarking tech, embedding invisible signals into AI-generated media so you can tell it was made by AI. They've already watermarked over 10 billion images and audio files, and are working to make it an industry standard.
Can people actually detect these watermarks easily?
They're rolling out a new Synth ID detector. It can spot the watermarks in images, audio, text, or video, even if it's just part of the content that's generated. It's going to early testers now. It's a key part of their push for transparency.
Okay. And one more creative tool, Flow.
Yeah, Flow. A new AI tool specifically for filmmakers. It combines tech from VIO, Imagine, and Gemini to help with the creative process. That launched today as well.
Okay, zooming out a bit, how are they packaging all this? New subscription plans?
Yes, they clarified the tiers. Google AI Pro is the main one, available globally. It includes the full suite, higher usage limits, basically what used to be Gemini Advanced. Then there's Google AI Ultra. Ultra is the top tier. Highest limits, earliest access to the newest stuff. It's launching in the US first, then expanding.
And Gemini itself is spreading out beyond just phones and web.
Definitely. Along with updates for Android 16 and Wear OS 6, they announced Gemini is coming to your watch, your car's dashboard, even your TV screen in the next few months, making it more ambient, more accessible everywhere.
A really big platform announcement was Android XR. What's that about?
Android XR. It's basically the first version of Android built specifically for the Gemini AI era and designed for extended reality XR.
So virtual reality, augmented reality.
Both.
Yeah.
And everything in between. Their thinking is that XR won't be just one device. You might use an immersive headset for some things, but maybe lightweight glasses for quick info during the day. Android XR is designed to support that whole range.
Are they building the hardware themselves?
They're collaborating. They're working closely with Samsung on their upcoming headset called Project Muhan, which uses Android XR and comes out later this year. And they're working with Qualcomm to optimize it for Snapdragon chips.
What about the glasses idea?
They showed prototypes, really lightweight designs meant for all-day wear. Developers will get access later this year. And they named the first actual eyewear brands they're partnering with. Gentle Monster and Warby Parker. So expect to see Android XR glasses from them eventually.
Beyond all the products and features, they also spent time on how AI is being used for, societal good. That's always encouraging.
Yeah, some really tangible examples. One was FireSat. It's a satellite system using AI and special cameras to detect wildfires much faster.
How much faster?
The resolution is good. It can spot fires down to about 270 square feet. But the big thing is the update speed. When it's fully running, they expect to get updates every 20 minutes instead of every 12 hours like current systems. That's huge for response times. The first satellite is already up there.
That could save lives and property. What else?
They talked about drone deliveries during Hurricane Helen. Wing, their drone company, partnered with Walmart and the Red Cross.
Delivering supplies.
Yeah. Critical stuff, food, medicine directly to shelters. And AI helps manage the logistics, figuring out needs in real time. They plan to scale up these kinds of disaster relief efforts. It shows AI helping in emergencies right now.
Those are concrete examples. But they also painted a bigger picture, didn't they, about the pace of future progress?
They did. They basically said that the fundamental research happening now, things like advanced robotics, new ways to treat diseases, quantum computing, self-driving cars, they believe this stuff will become reality in years, not decades.
Years, not decades. That's a bold statement.
It really is. It speaks to how fast they see the field moving.
It does make you think. I was actually really struck by that personal story in the source material about the speaker's father riding in a Waymo car.
Oh, the autonomous vehicle ride.
Yeah. Just seeing the picture of his amazement, someone who's seen so much change already, just blown away by the technology, it really hammers home how powerful and, frankly, inspiring this stuff can still feel, even as it becomes more common.
That kind of human reaction makes it feel much more real than just talking about exaflops, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So, all right, let's try to wrap this up. We've covered a lot in this deep dive, from the core AI models getting that massive boost, the Ironwood hardware powering it,
to new things like Google Beam for 3D calls, the agent capabilities in Gemini doing tasks for you, search being completely reimagined with AI.
the new creative tools like V3 generating audio, Flow for filmmakers, platform expansions like Android XR, Synth ID for responsibility.
And those really important real-world applications like FireSat and the disaster relief drones. It's just, wow, it's across the board.
It really is. We tried to distill the most significant pieces from all the source material for you. Hopefully it gives you a good sense of Google's direction.
Yeah, the sheer breadth is something else.
So as you're thinking about all this, maybe consider which of these things feels like it might actually change your day-to-day life soonest. Is it the smarter search? Gemini helping you write emails? The virtual try-on?
Or stepping back. Which development seems like it has the most potential to tackle some of those bigger challenges we talked about?
Yeah.
Climate change, healthcare, disaster response. Lots to think about.
Definitely food for thought. We hope this deep dive gave you a clearer picture of what came out of Google I/O and where things might be heading.